We're going to now move on to Graziella Florimond. Graziella is from French Guinea. She's a writer and teacher.
No. French Guiana.
Hi, Graziella. So
Hi.
Can you please tell us something about the situation of gender identity in your country?
Okay, first, so my name is Graziella Florimond. I live in French Guiana. So French Guiana, in the first slide, is in South America between Suriname and Brazil. We have to respect the French law. And in 2018, I organized a march about sexist and sexual violence with the organization Nous Toutes, but I don't want to work with them anymore because of gender identity issue. I realized and I discovered the problem with Margaret Stern. She published a thread, and this is not what she said, which made me realize the issue is the way French media and French leftist media react. And so what she said was not that extraordinary. She said, first, I don't want to work with the trans activists because they use too much stereotype to show femininity. Second, we don't have the same purpose. We want to fight against rape, against violence, against feminicide. You only want to talk about yourself. Three, she said, can you leave a lesbian alone, please? Who are you to make women guilty just because they say you know? And four, she explains that she creates something to show what happened in our country about feminicide. She's not the owner. She's very glad that women in France use that to talk about rape, to talk about feminicide. But if you use that to promote feminicide, turf au bûcher, that means burn turf, or to treat women, I don't want to talk with you anymore. And she ended by a slur. She said, I am a woman because I have a vagina. And that's it. But the French media talk only about the last thing in her thread. And each time I try to say, excuse me, is it real about lesbian? Is it real about threat to death? For what? I live cancel culture. They cut my questions, they cut my comments, they cancel my account. So I have to find information in other way. And I find Meghan Murphy. I find what was happened in Canada. I find what was happened in USA about the Mitch Fest. There were the case of J.K. Rowling. So I discovered all that stuff, and I was a little bit horrified, a little bit worried. But I was thinking that in my country, it's not our problem, because that was only crazy English things in crazy English country with crazy English law, and I was wrong because it was already too late in France. I forget something. I forget that in 2014 in my country, in France, the Pope sent Christian in TV show, in radio show, and Christian was saying the French government, the French Minister of Education, want to teach to children that gender theory, that means to be a boy or to be a girl, it's not related to your body or your sex, it's related to feeling. And they were saying, you want to teach gender theory to children, do you want to teach that? And our former lovely president and our former lovely Minister of Education were saying in all media, there is no such a thing as gender theory in France. This is not existed. It's only fake news created by homophobic Christian and paranoia Christian. So I believe them because it was very unbelievable. Sex does not exist, and be a boy is related to feelings. So I believe them at that time. Except that 2 years later, two sociologists, Juliette Wren and Gianfranco Rebucci, published a book, Encyclopedia of Critical Gender Theory. And in that book, they were explain gender theory. And they, in the beginning of this video, you can see the journalist ask them, so actually the Pope was right. Gender theory exists. And they admit, yes, it exists, but this is not the real name. The real name is critical gender theory. So I don't know if our president lied or if he didn't know that your Gratia principle exists. I don't know if our French Minister of Education lied or if nobody talked to her about gender studies in US university. But the fact is, they say to us something that was a lie. Gender theory exists. And worse of that, in 2017, France changed his law. And in that law, published in 2017, the only thing you have to do to become a woman is just to say it to the judge. In fact, they say that medical conditions, surgery, medical diagnostic, medical treatment don't count. You have to perform women during 2 years to show some pictures, to come with some witnesses, but medical explanation don't count. Change your last name, then show a picture, then say to the judge, that's it. And if the judge find you not enough feminine, not enough masculine, he doesn't have the right to say you know. This is the law in France since 2017. There were no debates, nothing. And I don't think that people are aware about that in France too. So we have the same crazy law as Canada and England and USA, and nobody is aware about that. So this is the issue in France. This is we were gaslights since 2014, and we have the same issue as any country in this world now. And in my area, French Guiana, we have a culture, a particular culture. We have my country is a place where there was slavery, colonialism. Next, we have an administration of prison. We have famous convicts in French Guiana's prison were on islands. Papillon lived here. If you don't know Papillon, you can see a movie with Richard Dreyfuss. We have Amazonia rainforest, etc. We have a lot of ethnic, very different ethnic. We have 12 official language, 6 Native American, 4 autochthon, black autochthon people. We were slaves and we fly slavery and create their own village. They free themselves. We have a lot of culture, as a culture, Asian culture, monk people who have to be saved by France and USA, and they send monk people in French Guiana. So we are very multicultural, you know. And in my country, French Guiana, we have a lot of problem with women safety. In 2014, Human Rights League came and made some studies, and they discovered that in my area, regarding to the population, we have the highest score of rape on minor, prostitution of minor, teen pregnancy. We have a lot of illegal immigration because people from Colombia, Santo Domingo, Haiti, Brazil, Suriname come here to find some better place to live, but there is a high score of poverty, so a lot of forced prostitution too. We have drugs problem. A lot of women can use their vagina. They want to carry drugs in France. We are like a door to Europe, you know. And some prison in France are full with French Guiana women, and they can die. They can die because of that. So we have all that stuff, but we don't have that much help, you know. We don't have so much place to protect women from domestic violence. We don't have so much place to protect children from abuse, you know. So we have a lot of problem. A lot of girl. As a teacher, I met a girl. We didn't know what period is. They have that period. They don't know what is it. They are believe in. They were dying because they have blood in between their legs. We have a lot of issue, and then you have these crazy things that say no, you're not a woman because of that body. So there is too much ignorance to teach that crazy thing, you know? What I believe, in my opinion, the next slide, why gender identity can't work here in French Guiana? Because of our culture. A lot of Native American culture or autochthon culture are matrilineal. They are matrilineal because your name comes from your mother. And as I'm Creole, and Creole culture are matrifocal. Our mother is very, very important in our life, and nobody believes that your mother is not the people who carry you and in her belly. This is nonsense. I can't see anybody call her mother a cherished owner or something like that. So our culture are very strong. We have a lot of association who celebrate womanhood. And we have other stuff in French Guiana too, and I linked that to non-binary illusion. You know, we have Carnival, and in Carnival in French Guiana, each year during 2 months, people have to play with gender stereotypes. In that picture, you can see a lot of people with dress or with very sexy clothes. They are all men, and we are playing with that. And women have to dress like men, and we have to caricature ourselves and to make fun of other. You don't have to become a beautiful woman. No, you have to become the most ugly, nasty woman as possible. And we do the same with men, you know. And among us, we have real trans people, and real trans people are people we are living like that every year, all the year, and nobody sees them as women. We are see them as in between. You are a man, but you like to wear women clothes. You like to live like that. Okay, we have homophobia here, but um, generally people let you live as you want. Who cares, you know? But nobody sees them as real women. Who are calling them ladies, man, monsieur, madame, or something like that. So I can this is can't work when people who don't change anything in their life are claiming I want people call me madame or mrs. Excuse me, each year I play with like you just for fun. So this is nonsense. Gender identity works already because of French law. We have to respect that, and we already have some trans people. I don't know if we have some non-binary, but anyway. Two, social media works a lot here as there is no frontier. Three, it's easy to get some surgery in Brazil because you just have to cross the river and you are in Brazil. And aesthetic surgery works a lot, but aesthetic surgery for some people works a lot too. In France, they create a law some weeks ago to allow trans women to compete against women. Yes, in France too. And we have a lot of brainwashing in French media. This is insane, but they are doing that because the law is already done. So we have this children, this boy, his name is Lily now. He's 8 years old, and during this show, his mother was saying, "Yes, you know, I was so worried because at 3 years old, she said to me, I want to die." At 3 years old, seriously? Then she said, "Oh, I feel so relieved because at 5, she said to me, I want to cut my penis." What mother can be relieved when your child is saying that to you? I want I want to cut my penis. Then she cried, "Oh, it was hard, etc., etc." And then some people in the show ask her, "What does it feel to feel a girl?" And this little boy say, "It's hard to say." That's it. No, we have no answer. We are still waiting the answer. What does it feel to feel girl? Girl, we don't know. But they are in every show. Every day you have something about trans children, trans people, trans etc. I have some hope. Our French Minister of Sport is not that agree. I already talked to a French deputy who believed me, and we're thinking about signing the WHRC, but I don't know if he will do it. The more they show, the more people open their eyes. Above all in France, because of what happened in 2014, because they lied to us. So how can they ask us to believe them now? And in my country, I hope our culture will strong enough with our old goddess like Mami Wata and Yemanja to fight against that craziness.